where they need be paying. Where they never come out. We are legally, you have no rights over Chimpanampo. Not to talk of somebody where wedding. Now you say, no kunu afro Chimpananti, Yankasan and Pranso, legally in Ghana. Ama Kobia, because Chimpanabacon, and my wild good. A Baba could appear more, a bit of mass 7 appear. The CNG to Soya. Yabanambuye, Team legal wives and husbands. Ghana Brady and say, you record to him. Now, far, it will go court to him. And far, you have called to the Supreme Court. Because we want to test the law. Me too, and one man. What should be also one man? Say, I'm sure Brady, near Sam Brady, who you are, you chiba say that. I didn't know, nay, yet. Now, I'm so because Akosua say one no kwan so be yeye. Akosua say one no kwan so be yeye. I just say one bomb. Na wun demand here. I no be take asante mo no. Go and read Ghana law. Kono mo ka mra ne me say mo mpa lawyer bi o be ka mra ne de chem. Say ye mu bi ye kwasiafo. We have lawyers. We have classmates of real lawyers. And personally, you can say lawyers for Kumasi. Mr. Mo. Eyi ni de St0p Yampo, Abrotiasio, Abrowo, that do me, you know, the wife I won't answer, Trusty, no, Suyebi. And the American women are Montias and say, that Lumba here, Munkomuye, more than what to the solo quay, I feel a baby Yakasa, or missing a body of Muye, no fun. The late Paul Ekwekofi, or London. Yan for ye near one body da, she appreciate ye. Obi o call him your nsuom, I am one body, yan ye. There will be a car accident, car year, I'm about this year, yet me and down, yan ye. Said you will be who ye young woman, I yan ye. Sana that woman who ye young woman, it's your own concern, the ye. What was shaman? What was whom that Lumba? She had a down, meaning it to, charity so. What was whom that Lumba? More of media from Papa said, what was almost another Lumba? Minimity at 2 hours sentiment. We are on any, but I'm in business. Then now, I'm paying for me, Sagan and Brano, Wabri and Brano. We are wedding now. Who know price of Chimpina, and that's a fact. She has the media and say, dear Tina, I said, Indian society. What would not tell you to Mokopambi? What would you call Pambi? You be you know. Ne be me yenu so efe eyewe me dey bushafo ete me aka won say eye nkoa dodo na omonone ebi mu ankran ebi mu obrekum wherever you find yourself as a team legal wife or husband boss sada no so na wo yele da ji mpo a me entu pande na break any bi because we want to prove to the world that Lumba here and yes had the phone mo here no. We are ready to do more for that Lumba, no solo party for that Lumba. Thank you very much. God bless us all.
And a press conference as I was with legal wives and husband. Now, abroad, I didn't be at Tuja. Abroad, press conference, the air costume. And some body to Janice Ghana for who for that Lumba yen ye. One abroad in the tea air jackson. I said, of course, and Tabaku say more. You be, I didn't tea jackson, tea air jackson. Edi amada Lumba ye omo se be se eye no wo se Amasua ono munfa di ti entwa so na eye no so de kan on the 28th and 29th March no e ba so ensem abro kaka ho de abusia enye ho na mbisa mo se ade abro ye tua wo kana because obi papa obi jiri obi wo fo busuani ti se wo na obi busuani awu na watini agye m se na eye to tuntrenu ye na so ya anya dia midimi ti twa so dia. Now, the press conference, of course, so nearly the first one, of course, and radio for you, course, oh, Masian say, at the mission, and you know, crack dear, allegedly, no, almost say, Nippo could redeem Sankratano, or your mistress is alleged, so your mistress, Nelson, no, which your mistress, you ready, yes, now, chef first one, Bemano ready, nothing said. Simply, wives and husbands, no, a bad day, so many of Vietnam, they be a cabayan, or Papa, see, not catching it, no. Near Queen. Says, can send be Eddie to John started in 1980s, Eddie be 2025 and then Lumba day. Oh, yeah. None of me besides my crabby Kumasidia. Nordness, any affair, Bonon and Patemu, any other regions, West, East, Yakano, Yes, you see, money man because they said they was a matter of so I'm press conference. All the regions now. I was here and some they because so emra and now some kotwa. You go see emra.
Okay. Introduction and salutation. First of all, introduction and salutations for media release. We are Team Leader wives and husbands. Justice is not for sale. A collation of ordinary Ghanaians, professionals, parents, and citizens. Under we shared belief in justice, accountability, and the unvarying scarcity of truth. We stand before lightning dim kakran.
Lighting it up.
Yeah, lightning dim kakran.
A dim. Come on. Light.
We stand before you.
No, you can't. Yeah, bro. For you, any I cheap. Serwaa. Why? A man how? A bro for the crack and tea and the quetch. Who can hear him? Meboa.
We stand before you as a collective voice of conscience, compelled by a profound sense of duty to our nation, its laws, and people. We are not politicians. We are not litigants. In the case of injustice has been
Taking root.
Okay. We extend our profound gratitude to you, the members of the Fourth Estate, the media. Your presence here is not merely noted, it is essential in a climate where narratives can be manipulated and the truth buried. Your role as watchmen, investigators, and impartial communicators of the public is the bedrock of an accountable society. We trust you carry this fact we present today with accuracy and courage. We also acknowledge and speak directly to people of Ghana from every region and every walk of life. We speak to silent majority who believe in fairness, who respect the institution of marriage, and who expect the court to be temple of justice, not arenas of manipulations. Furthermore, we recognize our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who love Ghana is unwavering, whose remittance build our economy, and whose trust in the security of their legacy back home is currently under severe threat. We have convened this press conference because what you will hear is more than a family dispute. It is a case study in the procedure, magnificence, evidential disregard, and apparent bias within a court of law can conspire to strip a lawful wife of their dignity, her right, and her legacy. We are here to present documented fact, expose glaring contradictions, and issue a clear call of systematic integrity. The case of Mrs. Akosua versus a system that has failed her is a litmus test for the very soul of our nation justice system. We therefore ask of your attention, your document, your discernment, and your solidarity. Thank you. Who is Mr. Charles Fosu, Daddy Lumba? To understand the kind of injustice at hand, one must first understand the man at the center of it and the woman who stood beside him, building the very legacy now in dispute. Mr. Charles Fosu, the musical titan known to the world as Daddy Lumba, was not a self-made island. His ascent from a talented young man in Insuta, Ashanti region, to the Ghanaian German high life legend was inextricably linked to the partnership, sacrifice, and foundational support of his wife, his legal wife, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa. The couple first married customary in Ghana in 1991 Kumasi bombshell. Later on, December 23, 2004, they solemnized their union under German law at a civil marriage registry in Bochum, Germany. This civil marriage created a monogamous, legally binding covenant recognized internationally. For over 2 decades following their customary marriage, Akosua Serwaa was the publicly acknowledged wife managing the home and family as Charles' career soared. Born on September 29, 1964, Mr. Charles Fosu musical journey began in Ghana. However, the proprietor leaped to an international career, a move that would define a burger life era, occurred when he moved to Germany in the 1980s. This relocation was a foundational moment, and it was facilitated by personal connections. Indeed, it was upon meeting and uniting with Akosua Serwaa that Daddy Lumba's professional path was solidified and his most enduring legacy was forged. The documented professional partnership between Charles and Akosua began at the very dawn of his saddle. After forming the famous duo, the Lumba brothers in 1988, with Nane Champon in Germany, with their crucial debut studio album being Yeye Aka Kwentu, which was produced by Daddy Lumba's wife, Akosua Serwaa, in their studio house. The duo became a major success and helped popularize the burger high life genre. It is not a minor footnote, it is a critical fact. Their marriage was so fruitful that they decided to dedicate 6 months to producing the music in Germany, followed by another 6 months in Ghana to promote it. This was a frequent occurrence with mutual understanding. In 1993, whilst promoting the album Eyesikasem, Daddy Lumba continued his betrayal of multiple affairs. While staying in Achimota, Daddy Lumba ended up impregnating the daughter of the man who hosted them, Mr. Ahime. It is truly heartbreaking and interesting to note Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu's first son, Kevin, is only 3 months older than the other sibling, Denise. Lumba, unfaithful habits, continued with another affairs in Germany with another lady, Georgina, having a son, Derek, for him. This was a blow to Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, as this happened to be her friend and child mother of their children. In the face of betrayal, she diligently loved her husband, covering his multiple sins. He managed all the bills for her family as Daddy Lumba continued with his music career. She had to work 8 hours to defray a mortgage on their home, while simultaneously nursing their last child and taking care of 2 older children single-handedly. This was not the life of someone alienated or absent as being told in the media. This was the life of a spouse holding the fort, ensuring stability and protecting the family's assets, their home through her own labor. The assets themselves tell a story of joint enterprise. The narrative and court documents reference properties that are central to this case. The house at Tantra Hills, Domi, East Legon, with others including businesses. It is stated that these were built by Mrs. Akosua Serwaa and her husband. She was not a beneficiary of wealth created apart from her. She was a co-coordinator of their wealth, Their matrimonial home was a joint project. Sadly, in 2012, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa experienced the loss of her sister, prompting her return to Ghana for the funeral, which she attended alongside Daddy Lumba. During the time of his wife was aware of his frequent complaints of back pains. After returning to Germany later that year, they began necessary arrangements for his health and later surgery. Prior to procedure, he mentioned to his wife the urgent need to return to Ghana quickly and back in time for the scheduled surgery in Germany for their matrimonial abode. However, when he landed in Ghana, to her shock, he informed her of the real reason why he left to Ghana, which was that he failed to undergo the surgery in Germany as he didn't trust the healthcare providers. She questioned and was upset his decision as that was not planned nor discussion. However, he had made his ultimate choice as an adult. After the shock of his unplanned decision to remain Ghana, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa had no choice than to remain in Germany with her minor children and fend for them. As a mother of 3, she had no option but to stand strong and face her new challenge of being the sole breadwinner of her home. Riddled with the burden of responsibilities, the mortgage, and many financial commitments, clearly she was, into brackets, abundant in block letters. Even during this abandonment, she still kept in constant communication and help towards her husband. Testimonies of the court documents reveals that it was the plaintiff, Akosua, who bought medication for her deceased husband. This case was so significant that the deceased himself confirmed in the video the video circulated on all social media platforms during his 60th birthday celebration. He also clarified false narrative which was in circulation that she had poisoned her husband, hence his hard health. How could she have poisoned when she lived miles away abroad. Her support was financial, medical, and safe as always. Charles Kwajofosu, aka Daddy Lumba, was a brilliant artist, no doubt, a musical legend, but his personal and marital woes living silently in the shadow of his outward success. Fundamentally, it is right to say Mrs. Akosua Serwaa was the very beacon of his success. Like the saying goes, behind every successful man, there is a woman. Mrs. Akosua Serwaa was simply that. She was his producer, financier, stabilizer, nurse, protector of his brand, and to investor and co-investor. To sever her from his legacy is not only a personal wrong, but a factual ensure of the very foundation upon which the legend of that Lumba was built. He acknowledged her very raw and incomparable presence in her life by praising her effect towards her effort towards him in many of his songs, one being into financial realities she managed and in the numerous properties they built together, which has all now become a bone of contention. Any honest account of who is Daddy Lumba? Who is Daddy Lumba? Must unequivocally answer, he was a man whose genius was unable and sustainable by his wife, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, forever 30 years. Mrs. Akosua Serwaa is now a venture where many of Priscilla's family members are currently working. This represents a wholesale diversion of legacy and income streams for the legitimate family of Priscilla Ofori. Second, the manipulation of funeral rites and finances. Following Daddy Lumba's death, Priscilla Ofori and his appointed family head, Kofi Usu, allegedly orchestrated funeral preparation that excluded the rightful widow and children. This necessitated a court injunction. The court's ruling of December 12, 2015 revealed the 7 facts. It found it necessary to order that the first respondent's separate fund raised for funerals from the account of Daddy Lumba's Memorial Foundation, LBG. This implies a commingling of charitable memorial fund with funeral finances, a serious lack of transparency. The entire funeral was being orchestrated to present Priscilla as the sole widow, a public erasure of Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, until the court forcibly intervened to mandate a planning meeting that included the actual widow and children. Third, the obstruction of justice and mourning. The circumstances surrounding Daddy Lumba's death are surrounded in action that prevented accountability and closure of this legal family. The body was allegedly moved from the home without police notification. The family was denied access to the body, and their request for an autopsy was blocked for the nearly 8 months. While these actions may involve other actors, they created an environment where Priscilla Ofori was positioned as the sole gatekeeper of the deceased, intensifying the grief and powerlessness of his lawful wife and children. Fourth, the perpetuation of a false narrative. Beyond the legal and marital harm, Priscilla Ofori and her associates have been instrumental in perpetuating a false public narrative. This includes the propagation of the claim that Mrs. Akosua Serwaa abandoned her husband 17 years ago, a claim definitely disproven by evidence of visits mentioned earlier and ongoing support, including the purchase of the medication, by positioning herself as a sole caring companion during his illness. She has clinically manipulated public sympathy to legitimize her claims and validate those of the true wife. For clarity of doubt, in 2011, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa's children came to Ghana for summer holiday. We asked where was Priscilla. Subsequently, she was also in Ghana 2012. Where was Priscilla again? You see, whilst creating lies, the trail of proof is evident and was have these proofs, such as a visa time stamp to Ghana and communication with her husband. It is important to the public to understand and debunk false claims that Priscilla Ofori nursed him in sickness for over 10 years, as she claims, citing he was bed-bound and immobile for that lengthy period. However, it is interesting that before his surgery for his spine in 2013, Daddy Lumba was already involved with Priscilla because her first child with him was born in December 2011. During this so-called prolonged period of immobility, she bore 6 kids with the man.
Thank you very much.
Nana Busiawe and a course so one of abroad in India Babu, so in the chasso. So that Lumba ye a Yama Kusha Bempoma, Mamma Kusa Serwaa, Papa Shino by a book whenever Yanka Casso Moja at a year Prendiama Lumba, Amasua Abrose, Mutanity and Femfriso. Press conference in the second one, no echoes to Kumasi, allegedly, no, the headmistress and the Kinka is your was TikTok command for a use or non so. As found out into a more trendy year part. So, why your comment section? Share video no, Emma for any and share highlights in the next TV. You did actually.
Lumba and Samia by media menka be that. My dear Serwaa as a counselor because I've been taking points here. Meet me at the am a dreamer. But this afternoon, I saw something that is heartbreaking. Me, family member, me, Abusuapain. I'm just a passerby. And for the first time, may commenty, and over the time, may kakra asoso, based on my critical observation of a normal Akosua. As I said, may start and then I make a bit. I want to take what has happened today into consideration. A press conference and my year with regards to that the Lumba issues now. I was paying attention to the contents of press conference. The normal show mukuchira group paper no so na kompese yeso ye But one point has come to mind now, that the agenda is to bring the legacy of that Lumba down and raise the popularity of Akosua Serwaa. Because here is a man who has lived 40 years of his life, depending on talent, who has lived a fulfilled life. And for a group of people to mount a platform and talk about the negative aspects of his life, just because they are seeking a ride for somebody. In the course of life. At a point in his life. If the agenda is to make the woman popular, I think people can go ahead and make the woman popular. Now, Lumba life and to her. But to write a script talking about Lumba's only way kodaye, only way nyumoye, only way kowoye, okofa obawe, okoye, so is that all they can say to prove this woman that indeed, because Lumba Nenko for coding the because of out of the matrimonial home, because he left his home in Germany to come back to Ghana to come and start life on Intino, is all about in order to make a point say somebody is a wife. That is all. And maybe in a baby we are say you claim so baby you'll be here as see a good man anymore say. And maybe somebody will have to explain a few things to me. What happened? As a people and as a nation. So one person who wants to claim to be a wife has held the whole nation to ransom. Unfortunately for this dead man, he has no voice because he's dead. Well, very heartbreaking. Well, oniano into change na chia say ndia mame dia na che say eyentro Lumba ewu oniano to hell with whatever the legacy be our building. The most important thing is that at the point of his death, somebody should be declared the only wife. Are you people being fair in this dispensation? And she said, what is going on? What is going on? For paper so court, ni and declare Abusuapain ayebasa. Why are you doing this? And in some normal when you Lumba sing and massing in a way court more bamogun and massimo is enough for you declare no as wife and why then wakotu funo no betom pano de nato so na wa dware no kama na wa boni tia ma na wa ware no anase then I don't understand. And I say at the end of the day you declare no unkwa as wife near to ne ketua ne eyi na fi ho ne amane ko ni krom ko obomi ho baby ne de na kwhye kora bi ase aka electricity eni ho light in ho school ni ho no ne ma akotena ho na wo wa ba be fa ejapade na wo ko then what? Why are you people doing this? Ede money pa na Lumba di ye ni nua ba no. Ede money na Lumba ede ye na yere no. Ene ede money no de ye ne wo fa ase na ne wakotena press conference ma ye didi ne wo fa natem. What a shameful nephew. What a disgraceful nephew. Sa wo fa ase we di obi amompa ye ne mpare no. Wo fa ase a wotimi kotena conference ase mela. Emma ye didi wo fa atem. Me ye sure say wonam a wase wo fu a wo koyi nyina me ye sure pa say wo pa de adi. Wunya anka wo papa be wo fa ne bre no bi asone agu wanum se wo manka watafre. Eno nti panti ni wajai bibia a wo ya wakotena press conference na se. Se omundi di papa na tem ne enje japade na me ame ne wo me ne wo fa ase me na me di na ade akan me me na me di na ade nti mundi na tem mun bringe no na se ne yire no nya japade ni wi a na me matemi di ewu na mo sakosia se wa no nya japade no de ko ni kuroma na ana oni mo assign contract bi se ye je japade nyina de ma akosia se wa no wa wa bi aba Lumba abusuafo na mo akwa free na nti mo de surplus 0p na mo pe abrabo Lumba be boy 0p akosia se wa di ma aka ase wa gia wa fight ya no wa giri nyina ma aka ase na no na mo pa tafre na mo protect mo busuan na ka mo tafre ni nyina. Oh, what kind of family is this? Abusuapain ni minim se me be kan obi ho a obaba be didi matemba ne nya hwe me de me mahwa for almost yi ni na me so me ka bi. But I think say be me bi nya sani bi kukodrufo bi wo Lumba abusuam on sorry why. Oh sorry na ne nua ba no be bi a wapia ni nua na nu onya wakodu no ye why eye owo man kete wo bubeko school mo de mo mpem ma no de nim se mo hia ne ire ketwa odobroni ma de nim se mo hia o kro mo busuam enti no se o mani begu ase o mbe de fa mo de ne se ye se japade ne de ama Akosua se wa na wa pone ho kakra ama mo abusuafo no mela bimpoma na makotafre ene wo fa ya koku na mo akotafre na mo ho atom fa na afem bia akotena bebe eno na mo pe ho eno na mo pe wadwiri mu nyina tie no na mo pe me hu bi da o so obi eja mo legacy na mo se ye de empe legacy na emu no obi metwe legacy ne fa fom no nsai no na onya ase kakra aka no waponi bia man ase busua na yeso yakotafre ase close family immediate family for we dey Akosua se wa beje ko na wonya nya ni nyina wi akakra obenya no fama ye na yeso eja ye mpodwe. Is it what you people want? I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. Mhweni yo ni yo munyina me se menya Lumba mabusuan yen ke besom ne tse nyame yen nya Lumba o yabusuan ke besom no e besom ne tse nyame ye besom ne tse nyame because esa wa ba to ho no ye mane ye nananum nyina beba be benefit na mu de mu hu ni sa na makotena press conference mi eguri wo de she na ni mu ase na mote ho Abusuapain ni abusuan we die sa abusuan we die empare obia mo bia ampe mu bi nko abusuan bone emu atina na papa asambe na ya say abusuan bone mu atina na wode bo nwuma ampa se na abusuan ofiri mu de wo mpa de pa ko mo tina ho gu na ni mu ase Lumba wa bregu papa